Good morning! Today we're going to be working on computations with fractions. That means adding and subtracting fractions. Now let's practice. Emily and I both have a pile of circles. We want to know how many green circles are in each of our sets. Then we want to know how many green circles we have all together. Let's count Courtney's circles first. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Using what we already know about fractions, we know that since we have 4 circles, the bottom number, or the denominator, in our fraction will be 4. And like I said before, we want to know how many green circles we both have. Let's count the green circles together. We have 1, 2, 3. So we know that 3 will be our numerator number.
Now we're going to count my circles. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 circles. 7 is our whole, so that's going to be our denominator of our fraction, which is the bottom number. We're looking for the number of green circles in each of our sets, so let's count my green circles. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's the part of my whole, so 6 will be the numerator of my fraction. Now let's add our fractions together. The butterfly strategy. Can you say it again?
Butterfly strategy.
So in Courtney's set, she had 3 green circles and 4 circles total. And in my set, I had 6 green circles and 7 circles total. I'm going to add the 2 fractions together using the butterfly strategy that we talked about earlier. So I'm going to start by drawing the circles around my numerator and then across to the opposite denominator. So I'll draw my first circle. And then I'm going to draw my second circle, which starts at the next numerator around to the opposite denominator. And then I'll draw both antennae. And then the pocket. First things first, I'm going to multiply within both of my circles. So I'll start with the first numerator and multiply it by the opposite denominator within the circle. So that would be 3 times 7, and I'm just going to write that right next to that antenna. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. 6 times 4, I'll write that right next to this antenna. And in the pocket below, I'm going to multiply both of the denominators. So that would be 4 times 7. Now I'm going to rewrite my fractions. And redraw my butterfly. But I'm going to write the solutions in this time. So 3 times 7 equals 21. And 6 times 4 equals 24. And 4 times 7 equals 28. Now let's solve the problem. My numerator is going to be the 2 numbers that are next to the antenna added together. We're adding because we're adding fractions. So 21 plus 24, I'll work it out over here so you can see it. 1 plus 4 is 5, 2 plus 2 is 4. So 21 plus 24 is 45. And then I just take the number from my pocket and that will be the denominator, 28. So the solution to our problem would be 45/28.
Now that we know how to add fractions, you might be asking yourself how to subtract them. The answer is, we complete the same steps except we subtract the antennas instead of add. Emily will do a practice problem now. Go.
Do you remember the fraction circles we had before? I had 6 green circles and then 7 circles total. And I want to see how many more green circles I had than Courtney. So I'm going to subtract or take away her fraction, which was she had 3 green circles and 4 circles total. Now remember, we're doing the exact same thing as we did with the butterfly strategy before, except this time we're subtracting our antenna. So I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to start the same way by drawing a circle around my numerator to the opposite denominator. And then I'll do the same thing to the other side. And I'll draw my antenna and the little pocket. Now I'm going to multiply within my circle. So I have 6 times 4, which I'll put right next to this antenna. And I have 3 times 7, which I'll put next to this antenna. So you might notice that this is exactly the same as the last one we did, but it will be changing shortly. Now I'm going to multiply the denominators. So that would be 7 times 4, which is 28. I'm going to rewrite my fraction and the whole equation and redraw my butterfly. But this time I'm going to write in my solutions. So 6 times 4 is 24, 7 times 3 is 21, and then in my pocket, 7 times 4 is 28. Now to solve, the only thing that's different is that instead of adding these two numbers like we did before to get our numerator, we're going to subtract. So 24 minus 21, 4 minus 1 is 3, 2 minus 2 is 0. So our answer is 3 for the numerator. And then our denominator will remain the same. 28. Easy enough. So our answer is 3/28. I had 3/28 more green circles than Courtney did.
That was good practice, Emily. Thanks for the help.
No problem. I know it probably seems a little bit difficult right now, but it'll probably make a lot more sense when we work on it tomorrow in class together. We're going to be doing a fun activity using M&Ms where you're going to practice adding and subtracting fractions.
Hope you have a good night. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching our video. Goodbye.